Today, we're going to talk about the top 10 nutrition trends for 2025. This is the time of year where all the experts get together and decide what is going to be popular this coming year in nutrition. Just kidding. It doesn't really work that way. Trends just kind of emerge and then everybody starts talking about them. But gonna give you my perspective on what I think are going to be some of the top 10 trends for 2025. I am the founder of a Center for Holistic Nutrition and the author of a best-selling book on healthy keto. Welcome or welcome back. So glad you're here. Let's dive right in. The first one is brain health. We're going to see a lot more focus on brain health overall. And it makes sense because our brains do have such a huge influence over our mood, our energy, our ability to focus and concentrate. So there's going to be a lot more focus on what we call smart nutrition, which are foods and supplements and things that can actually boost cognition. Now, that could mean iodine, which is a nutrient that I am very focused on, because I have a book coming out in March of 2025 called Iodine, the essential nutrient for brain power, thyroid health, and optimal living. So you can see that I'm very focused on this as well. But it also could mean other things like choline, which is a nutrient that a lot of people are deficient in. They don't get enough of in their diet. It's a precursor to acetylcholine, which is a neurotransmitter. It helps with memory and focus and concentration. So anything that boosts choline would be considered a cognitive nutrient or a smart nutrient. And there are other things too, like anti-inflammatories. Things like omega-3 fatty acids and certain antioxidants that have been shown to have a positive effect on the brain. Another trend that we're seeing is a focus on neurologic conditions. So a lot of people are becoming more aware that there are things that you can do to support your nervous system. There are things that you can do to support your brain to potentially slow the progression of neurologic conditions like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, multiple sclerosis, ALS. So anything that supports the neuron itself. That can help to repair the neuron or protect the neuron from further damage is going to become more and more popular and more important as time goes on, because we're reliving longer and we want to maintain our cognitive function as we age. Brain training is another thing that's going to become more popular. There are all sorts of brain training apps and different things that you can do to kind of exercise your brain and keep your brain functioning at its optimal level. And that becomes even more important when you start to look at the research around cognitive reserve. And essentially what cognitive reserve shows us is that if we keep our brains active, if we keep challenging ourselves to learn new things, to memorize things, then we can actually build up a reserve so that if we do experience some brain damage, our brains are better able to compensate for that, and we can maintain our cognitive function for longer. So that's another trend that we're seeing, brain training. And then lastly, when it comes to brain health, we're seeing a lot more focus on things like the Mediterranean diet, the Blue Zone diet, things that can promote longevity and healthy aging. So those are my thoughts on brain health and how that's going to continue into 2025. Next week, I'm going to share with you the rest of my top 10 trends for 2025. Make sure you stay tuned so you won't miss that video, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.